G'day Spurs fans, it's Paul the Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet, and it's a bit nippy here today in old Sydney town. Winter's here, and I woke up to, oh my lord, it really is football-mageddon. It's a soccer apocalypse out there because all the headlines are saying Premier League, Civil War. They don't half like going overboard. In fact, I think I'll call this video as well Premier League Civil War, just to get on board the hype train. No, we don't live in a world anymore where you can have disagreements or civil disputes. It's either everyone's sitting around a campfire playing kumbaya, passing the pipe around, or it's civil war. Civil war. What, they got bayonets, have they? So the story is that everyone's favourite club, Manchester City, the honourable lot from up north, are suing the Premier League. Because they're saying, oh, it's not fair that the Premier League is making up these rules. I mean, my analogy is like there's clubs in Australia called the RSL clubs, Return Servicemen's League. They're like British Legions but posher, and with like about 500 more fruit machines in them, and top quality entertainment like Jack Diamond. And if you want to go in there, if I want to go in there, I have to take my hat off. Now I could sue them for being bald prejudice, that I don't like showing my shiny slap head when I'm out and about, but they make the rules, so I've got no recourse, and it's fine. But Premier League, they're because of the 115 charges that they're launching towards Manchester City, I see this as a preemptive strike. Now, what I think, from what I can tell, Manchester City are kind of arguing is that the Premier League shouldn't be able to dictate the market forces and pressures and business arrangements between kind of sponsorship deals or business deals and the club. And I kind of understand that point of view, but the way I look at that one as well is me just being a humble Uber driver. If I was to drop someone off, and just before they get out the car, they say to me, yeah, I know this trip would only usually be $50 round, to this place, but I'd like you to take this small brown paper bag, and I'll give you $1,000 if you do it. My answer straight away would be no. Because I'd smell something fishy. And that's exactly what Manchester City have been doing for years. They have been overinflating deals, sponsorships. So whatever companies they have, Etihad or whatever, I'm sure they're paying like 10, 20 times the odd of what a normal sponsorship deal would be. There was a time, I think it was when it was Mancini in charge, where he did a couple of days seminar, and instead of charging a few $1,000s for it, got about 10 million for the club for it. So it's as bent as all buggery. Manchester City, I think, are just doing this because if the result goes their way, it might well then, I suppose, make it harder for the Premier League to chuck all the 115 charges at them, because they might have some sort of bullshit legal precedent saying, well, it's legally all right, so it's morally all right. That's the state the world is in. People are let their morals guided by the law, which is dictated by a load of stuffed shirts sitting in pews. Oh, the law is the law. Well, 200 years ago, you wouldn't have minded owning a slave, would you? So sod off. These sorts of people, they get my goat. There's a road here. The speed limit went from 80 to 90 kilometres an hour. So one day, if you went down it at 85, people would be sneering at you like you're a potential menace and a baby killer. What if you ran over a toddler? But then the next day, if you're going at 85 and it's 90, they'll be beeping you for being a slow tortoise. These morons that don't develop their own moral compass, but just look at the boys in blue who are busy eating burgers and beating up the repressed in society. You don't get any moral guidance from those lazy sods. Anyway, so Manchester United are trying to take some sort of legal high ground here and painting it with a moral picture. And what's interesting is there's a couple of clubs that are coming out to support them. Now, obviously, it's going to be Chelsea, isn't it? Chelsea, of course. all their fans, or a lot of their older fans, or whatever, they're either posh Tory toffs from private school that couldn't make the rugby team in their Hogwarts that they were educated in, or Nazis. Oh yeah, if you don't disagree with someone, you call them a Nazi. No, if they go around spraying swastikas, they're Nazis. That's what they used to do. I've seen it many times, Chelsea fans do that. And I kind of think, you know, if you're going to sniff on and support a club, and you rock up and you see all these Tory toffs and racist, bigoted wankers, maybe I'd think, I don't know if I'll support this club, I'll pick someone else down the road. But no, because trophies count. Trophies and cheating. Cheating, this is what Manchester City and Chelsea have been doing for decades. Absolutely cheating, ripping the game of football off. In Chelsea's case, of course, it was an oligarch, a man who stole the entire natural resources from a country and then gave Chelsea at least £1 billion for nothing. Not a bad little write-off, that one. No wonder they won trophies and silverware and had success. And I don't give a Billy bollocks what stuffed up twats like Rory Jennings say. Your club is nothing without all that. You will be going back to Division 2. Bye-bye, sayonara. Now, of course, Chelsea cheats. They're obviously going to stick up for the Manchester City moral model because they're part of it. Just as Manchester City, I haven't got anything really against Manchester City fans, the new ones maybe, because they're just glory hunters, but it's an old traditional club. They didn't look that bad when we smashed them in the 1981 FA Cup final, but Chelsea fans are scum. Rich scum or bother boys, that's what Chelsea are. Leave your comment below if you disagree. So obviously, the cheating clubs are going to come out and support Manchester City. And what's interesting is Aston Villa and possibly Newcastle might be supporting Manchester City in this too, which I find weird. And I'm thinking, is there, how does this go down with fans? We've already seen that football clubs are run by psychopaths that have no conscience or idea of what sport is all about, because every single fan wanted to get rid of VAR, and the Premier League clubs unanimously, apart from Wolves, said no, we're going to keep VAR. We don't give a care stuff about what people that keep us going. All the fans care because we're psychopaths, we're rich businessmen. We don't care, we have no conscience or empathy. That's the world we're living in. That's the world we're living in, folks. So I'm not really surprised from a club point of view that there's clubs standing up with Manchester City, but I don't know, Aston Villa, they're a club with pedigree. They've won a European Cup. Fairly, not like Chelsea and Manchester City have stolen them. But I wonder how their fans think that you're siding with bad guys here. You're going over to the dark side of the Force with Darth Vader and Palpatine. That's what you're doing. Don't you? I mean, don't clubs give a damn about what fans say? And I get it, because what Villa and Newcastle United want to do, I guess, is to be able to do the same thing. They want to be able to cheat. They want to be able to buy success. Well, there's a couple of ways you could tackle this, folks. You could either do what you're doing and say, yeah, we support Manchester City because we want to be great big dirty cheats too and bugger up football. Premier League's the best league in the world, even though the same team's won it 6 out of the last 7 times. It's completely busted and buggered, the Premier League. So you can either do it that way, the way we want to compete is by cheating, or you could do what honourable clubs do, like Tottenham Hotspur, by far the greatest football team the world has ever seen, by standing against it. Yes, Tottenham, I think Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United are all going to give evidence against Manchester City, because that's the other way you can do it. You can say, stop cheating. That will be a way of levelling the playing field. So do you want to bring Manchester City back down to normality, or do you want a few dodgy clubs with fly-by-night ownerships trying to cheat their way to the top? That's what it comes down to. It's all rubbish. It's not football. I can't stand any of it, and I think it's hilarious, the preposterousness of people saying it's civil war when it's not. It's a disagreement, isn't it, really? But I don't like it. I think Manchester City and Chelsea should be booted out. We won't miss them. Their fans won't miss Manchester City because they ain't got any. And Chelsea fans, oh, I'd love it if they went back down to Division 2. Give them a lesson. Give them a lesson. They're your roots. They're your roots, boys. Back you go. Ta-ta. Till next time, folks. Peace and love, man. And come on, you Spurs.